The call comes at 4:11 a.m., and you don't say hello. You already know the voice on the other end. You already know what it means when Harlan Voss calls before sunrise. You sit up in the dark, feet flat on the cold floor, and you listen. 3 words. That's all he gives you. The bridge. Now. You hang up. You don't ask questions. Asking questions is for people who still think they have a choice. You've been doing this for 6 years. 6 years of being the person nobody sees and everyone needs. You are not muscle. You are not a lawyer. You are not a cleaner, not exactly. You are something the Syndicate invented for a man like Harlan Voss, a man with 9-figure accounts across 4 continents and a patience so cold it reads like cruelty. You are the only person alive who knows every secret in every room and is still allowed to walk out of them. That is not a compliment. That is a leash. By the time you reach the bridge it's 4:38 a.m. The river below is black and still. A black SUV idles at the midpoint, hazards off, engine running. You park behind it and walk forward alone. The window comes down and there is Marcus Deal, Voss's head of internal operations, with blood on his collar and a very specific kind of calm in his eyes, the kind that comes after something has already gone wrong. He tells you a name. Senator Aldrich Phelan. He tells you a number. 400 million. He tells you that Senator Phelan, who has been on Voss's private payroll for 11 years, has just wired $400 million of laundered infrastructure money into an account that does not belong to the Syndicate. Marcus doesn't tell you what he wants you to do. He doesn't have to. That is why you're here. You are the one who decides the shape of the solution. You drive back alone and you think. This is what you do. Not panic. Not react. Think. Because the wrong move on a name like Phelan doesn't just end careers, it ends bloodlines. A sitting senator disappearing leaves a hole that governments look into. Governments with subpoenas and servers and men who don't scare. So you eliminate that option before you even park the car. You call your contact at the Financial Intelligence Unit, a woman named Claire who owes you a silence you have never cashed, and you ask her a single question about the routing structure on accounts flagged in the past 72 hours. She gives you what you need in 4 minutes. When you hang up, you already know where the 400 million went. And you know something Marcus Deal does not. Phelan didn't steal it. Phelan was stolen from. Someone inside the Syndicate used Phelan as a transit point, moved the money through his access without his knowledge, and left his fingerprints on a transfer he didn't authorize. It's elegant, sophisticated, the kind of move that only someone with deep internal knowledge could execute. Which means the problem isn't a senator. The problem is inside the House. You sit with that for exactly 90 seconds. Then you call Harlan Voss directly. Voss picks up on the second ring. He always does when it's you. You tell him what you found. You tell him clean and fast, no editorializing, just the structure of what happened. There is a silence on his end that lasts long enough to be dangerous. Then he says, "Find them." 2 words. Same energy as 3. You already know what find them means. It does not mean bring them to me. It means remove the uncertainty. You are not going to ask for clarification. You never do. What follows is 48 hours that will never exist in any record. You move through the Syndicate's internal architecture the way you were trained, quietly, laterally, never pulling the same thread twice. You call in 3 favors across 2 cities. You spend $60,000 of discretionary operational funds without logging a single receipt. You sit in a parking garage in the financial district for 4 hours watching a man eat lunch through a telephoto lens, confirming his pattern before you make contact. The man's name is Garrett Finch. He is the Syndicate's head of digital asset transfers. He is 34 years old. He has a daughter. He drives a clean car. None of that changes what you know. You meet Garrett Finch in a hotel bar at 6 in the evening on day 2. You sit across from him. You order water. He orders scotch. You slide a single printed page across the table, a routing summary, anonymized, but specific enough that anyone with his knowledge reads it immediately for what it is. You watch his face. You've learned to read the exact moment a person understands they've been caught. It's not fear. Fear comes second. The first thing is always a kind of stillness, like the body deciding whether to fight or fold. Garrett Finch folds. You can see it in the way he sets down the glass. He talks. He always knew he would, the moment he saw you walking toward the table. Everyone in the syndicate knows what it means when you show up alone, calm, and early. He tells you the money was a test. He tells you he was approached 6 months ago by a competing network, a European consortium with Asian financing that has been quietly buying influence in Voss's territory for the better part of 2 years. They gave him a small job first, then a larger one, building trust with money and promises. The 400 million was the graduation assignment. Move it, disappear it, and walk out with a new identity and a 9-figure guarantee. He almost made it. He had the flight booked. He was 20 hours from gone. You listen to all of it without interrupting. When he finishes, he looks at you and asks what happens now. It is the most honest question anyone has asked you in years. You tell him he is going to write a full account of every contact, every instruction, every name the consortium gave him. He is going to do it tonight, in this hotel, on paper, by hand. He is going to give it to you by 9 a.m. In exchange, you will not tell Voss where you found the answer. What he does with the next 48 hours after that is between him and the distance he can cover. You are not making him a promise. You are giving him a window. He understands the difference. By the time you deliver the full dossier to Harlan Voss the next morning, the 400 million has already been redirected. The European consortium's holding structure has been identified and flagged for a very specific kind of pressure. Voss reads the report at his desk without expression. He turns the last page. He looks up at you and nods once. That nod is worth more than any payment he has ever wired. It means you are still the only one. It means the leash is still intact. You take the elevator down alone. Lobby marble, winter light through the glass facade, the city moving outside like it doesn't know what happens in the rooms above it. And something shifts in you, not guilt, not exactly. More like recognition. You just handed Voss a weapon with the consortium's name on it. You just let a guilty man walk because clean outcomes serve the machine better than messy ones. You did not ask who gets hurt next. You never do. That is what makes you effective. That is also what makes you permanent. You step outside. Cold air. The city indifferent. Your phone is already showing an unread message from a number you don't have saved, which means it was routed through the clean relay, which means it's internal. You open it. 4 words. Next one. Same terms. You stop walking. Right there on the sidewalk, people moving around you like water around stone. You read it again. You read it a 3rd time. You think about the hotel bar, about Garrett Finch's face when he folded, about the daughter and the clean car and the flight he almost caught. You think about how long you've been doing this. 6 years. You think about whether anyone who does this for 6 years ever really finds the exit. You put the phone in your pocket. You start walking. The story ends here. I hope you all liked it. For more stories like this, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching.